featuring wacky ballots, premature calls, a recalled concession, and the Supreme Court deciding the next president. The 2000 election, no doubt, goes down as one of the most unusual and controversial in the history of the United States. This election would feature former Governor of Texas George W. Bush taking on Vice President of the United States Al Gore. The Gore ticket would feature Joe Lieberman for VP. Bush would respectively choose American hero Dick Cheney for his running mate. Gore's campaign would be dragged down by a major controversy, with Bill Clinton's inappropriate relations with White House intern Monica Lewinsky, this being Gore's tie to Clinton as his vice president. Bush would be attacked for his apparent lack of experience throughout the campaign. On November 7, 2000, it became apparent that the election would come down to Florida. Gore would initially be declared the winner by several major news organizations via information from exit polling, but this would be recanted. Bush would then be declared the winner following gaining a lead of 100,000 votes, but again this would be taken back, and it became apparent that the election was far too close to be called on the night. Just on a side note, isn't it fascinating to see a red New Hampshire and a red Colorado and a blue Iowa and the blue wall once again standing just 25 years ago? This just shows how quickly that states can change and how quickly time really has been moving in these sort of presidential elections. How polarization has really gotten rid of what you might think of as red or blue states. There really used to be no such thing as that. That is a recent introduction to politics. Anyways, I'll get back to the video. Now, where was I? Oh yes, this election being decided by the beautiful state of Florida. Several controversies involving improperly filled out and overseas ballots would erupt. This would cause protests on both sides. This debate would eventually move all the way up to the Supreme Court. In a landmark and controversial ruling, Gore versus Bush, they would rule 5-4 to stop the partial recount of several Florida counties, handing the presidency to Bush. Today, it has been debated both ways who the true winner was, with conclusions being drawn on behalf of both candidates. Following the ruling, however, it has been argued that the confusing nature of Palm Beach County's butterfly ballots likely gave 1,000 plus Gore votes to reform candidate Pat Buchanan, meaning Gore likely had the majority of support in Florida. The election in Florida would be the closest ever in U.S. history, with Bush winning just 537 votes out of nearly 6 million cast, giving him the win by roughly 0.009%. Gore would become the fourth out of 5 total candidates in U.S. history that would win the popular vote and yet lose the Electoral College. The most recent would be Hillary Clinton in 2016 against Donald Trump.